Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. In this moment in history, let's go back to the early 20th century and explore one of the most memorable and impactful athletes and cultural figures in American history. This man came from a hard upbringing to stardom in Major League Baseball. He was a complex figure. He dealt with drunkenness and a failed marriage, and at the same time, he had a soft spot in his heart for children. He was universally beloved for his childish personality and superstar fame. He was known by many nicknames: the Sultan of Swat, the Great Bambino, the King of Swing, and most notably, the Babe. Let's explore the story of George Herman Ruth, known in history as Babe Ruth. Ruth was born into poverty in Baltimore in 1895. He had a very difficult upbringing in an abusive household, and he was often seen as a troublemaker. But he found his calling playing the game of baseball. He broke into the majors in 1914 as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, and he helped lead the team to its most successful run in the 20th century, winning several World Series titles as a dynamic starting pitcher. In 1918, Ruth broke out as a star slugger as well. He smacked 11 home runs that season, an unheard of stat in the dead ball era of baseball, and it was the season that Boston would win its final title in the 20th century. As it turns out, Boston's long title drought began because of Ruth. In a jaw-dropping transaction, the Red Sox traded Ruth to the New York Yankees in 1919 for cash, forever altering the fates of both franchises. Ruth became the legend he is remembered today as a member of the Yankees. He led the team to the first 4 of its record 27 world titles and set the single-season home run record in 1927. He hit 60 long balls, a record that would stand for 34 years until another Yankee, Roger Maris, would break it in 1961. Now, the middle of Ruth's career was plagued with hardship as he struggled with divorce and his rampant drunkenness. But in 1926, he dedicated himself to his craft and became the most successful baseball player of his era. Legends surround Ruth, one of which is he allegedly called his shot in the 1931 World Series against the Cubs, hitting a home run to dead center field after supposedly pointing his bat in that direction. He originally denied the claim, but later defended it. Legend also says that he would eat as many as 8 hot dogs before each game. What was not legend, but reality, was his love for children. Ruth was a shining example of an athlete who always made time for his young fans. He made it a regular practice to visit sick children in hospitals, and this actually set the example that many athletes copy today. One young fan said of Ruth when he met him as a young boy, "He was the nicest man I ever met. I'll never forget a minute of it. I remember sitting on his lap and he put his arms around me and made out that ball for me that said, 'To Leon, from one left-hander to another, Babe Ruth.' I'll never forget it." Ruth was inducted into the inaugural Baseball Hall of Fame class in 1936, and he died in 1948. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.